Hi, today I'm going to talk about adaptation, accommodation, and modification for school subject. In the school we have a different levels and different subject to study. But the question is how we are going to accommodate, modify, and adapt the contents when it comes for the developmental delay or specifically if you talk about intellectual disability. So in this video we are going to understand how we are going to do a adaptation, modification, and accommodation for a particular content and in different subject. What are the points you need to remember? I request you all guys to watch completely, listen it, and then you prepare your notes so that at least you can understand some concept of it. Okay, see why we require to do adaptation. See, academic curriculum, children with special need or intellectual disability, they will face a problem. Okay, they may pass only one or two subjects continuously when given in a test or in the your UT or in a summative test, but other subjects are not achieved. So why they are not achieving that? They require some sort of adaptation or due to some other problem. You need to think considerably, you need to think accurately, appropriately, and then you have to move. You have to take the decision whether I want to do a modification or not. You can do a modification in the books, in the article, in the technology, in the grading system, when the child is writing the test, when you're giving the instructions. You can do adaptation, accommodation, and modifying in any of these factors, but make sure that it is appropriate and it specifies the grade. If you want to adapt the a first grade curriculum, make sure the child is in the first grade curriculum and what kind of need he has, whether he has opportunity, whether he has the ability to move forward or not. That you need to just encounter. See, you would have already heard about a grade level assessment device which has been developed by NIMH. Formerly it was called NIMH, now present it is NIEPID. It has been developed till fourth grade level, okay, till class 4, and specifically they tell about different subjects where it clearly says where my child stands, in which grade level my child stands. And I think it's very good book. I will give the link of NIPID website from where you can download that, so it will help you to understand easily. Okay, so in that book you can see adaptation. Okay, let us move. Now let us see here school. Now see, when you heard about school, you will see there are different sections, right? There are different levels like primary levels, upper primary levels, and secondary level. The terminology remains different, but almost it is divided in the same age level, even if you see in CBSE, international, or IB curriculum as well. But they just manipulate with those terminologies, okay, like PYP or secondary or middle class. So in that way they will just try to discriminate, but almost it remains the same, and all the levels will have a different subject to study. So our target of today is to understand how we are going to do adaptation in different subjects. So here we are going to understand uh, based on the levels. First we are going to see what are the subjects in primary level, upper primary level, and then we will try to do some we will try to understand what kind of adaptation and modification we can do. I'm not going to explain a secondary level because it's quite similar when you understand upper primary level. So once you understand, automatically you can select the subject and you can do your adaptation, modification, and accommodation. Let us see adaptation, accommodation, and modification in primary school subject. Let us understand what are the subjects we teach in primary school. Now you can see English. So how to do an adaptation, accommodation, modification in English during primary level. Now here we can use a flashcard to introduce the alphabet from A to Z for the sake of recognition of letters and correct pronunciation phonetically. So this kind of, basically for children with intellectual disability, if you give a lot of flashcards or some sort of 3D model alphabets, they will remember very easily. So introduce 2 or 3 letter word files where you will have a file of words to teach pronunciation and even a written representation. You can ask the child to make some sentence of those words and then ask to write the same. So in that way the child will try to learn the pronunciation and written expression. Associated with pictures, it is very very important. If you link the picture with word, because the children with intellectual disability, they learn the concept when you associate the things properly with the real life experience. So associate the picture with word. For example, if it is cat, show the picture of cat and the word as well, keep under the picture, and then you try to teach. I'm sure they will try to understand the concept of cat very easily. Providing an audio typed lesson, typing instead of writing, that is very very important, because it will help the child to generalize when he move to for example, if you teach a concept like survival words, let us say toilet, in your own handwriting, but when he goes to the real setup in the society, he will not see what you have thought. So it's better if you give a typed one, so that it will help the child to generalize it. So always use a typewritten note or words that will make you a better, and even that will make you a better, to make the child understand. And even the large printed books you can use on series, so that you can explain those poem very easily. Repeat the poem after the teacher. That means once you ask the child, how I repeat, how I do, you do, that will help the child to understand the pronunciation, annotation, and a modeling, okay, which is very very important. Use play cards with a bright letter to match a rhyming word, which is very very important adaptation which you can do in your lesson. Then audio visual lessons will be used to teach small stories, which you have already printed in the textbook, which is already printed in the textbook and you have taken from there. And teacher need to use a phonetic approach to pronounce the alphabet, which is very very important. Depending on the individual learning style, the material has to be modified. Whether the child is visual learner, auditory learner, kinesthetic learner, you have to identify and then modify the learnings. Then in teaching English, prefix, suffix, plurals can be indicated by the child in worksheet by using a bright color, marker, sketch pens, or even you can paste it. So subject to number, it can be like a mathematics because it is in primary, so we call as a number. So here also you can use a flashcards, a concrete material to recognize the basic numbers. Like initially you can start from 1 to 9 and the later you can go till 100. The concept like big small, can be taught by using the concrete materials, and later the pictures you can use the models, you can show the child a real objects um, at home, as well as you can use in a various way, but make sure that you use concrete material. So before introducing the number counting object, may be introduced to know the number value by using the seeds. You can use a seed, you can use ice creams which is available at your home. You can use a bead to count the numbers, which will help the child to learn very easily. And in EVS, child should aware of his immediate environment. If you want to do some adaptation, the main point you need to remember whether the child is aware of the particular environment where he is staying or not. Okay, for example, my family, my school, park, zoo, it might be a playground, water, helper, season, everything the child must be aware. So this all can be taught by using the videos, which is customized as per the child's needs. So you will get a lot of ready-made materials on the even YouTube, or even sometime you can buy the software, but sometime your child may not be a help with those software. So what you have to do, you need to customize the video as per the child's need, and then that is called your adaptation. That is called your accommodation, where you can you're doing some changes in the content which you have already bought. Okay, that, like you have a language also, like Hindi, Telugu, and any other regional language. So here, begin with recognition of letter, pronunciation, and use in the form of simple words and sentences by making a child to use a flashcard, CDs, which is customized again, and video lessons where principles of special education. You can use principles of special education, like already we have explained. You can see in the above link, like I have explained you about principles of teaching. In that you have whole two part, concrete to abstract, so you can just go through that. You will understand what is the principle of special education. Then make the child to sit at a small group, encourage a peer tutoring, modeling, teachers, students. There are a lot of way how you can engage the child to learn the language. Even you can use a flashcard, which is already I have explained in the English. So you can do in this way also. Then art and craft. Here what you can do, you can adapt the pencil, the crayon if the child is not able to hold, and then you can make the child draw and paint. You can use a stencil to draw object or pictures, which is very very important, because the child may not be a hand free draw painters, or he may not able to draw. So you can do some adaptation. You can use a stencil, or even you can cut a cardboard and you can make a picture and you can ask the child to draw in it. Adapt the material can be made to make a various crafts, like as I said, you flower, you can cut a cardboard and you can then you can make the child to spray in that, or you can make the child to draw with the pencil, or you can make the child to draw into it. So this is how you do some adaptation in art and craft. Now let us see the adaptation, accommodation, modification in upper primary school subjects. Here also you will have a different subjects like English. In English, in upper primary, the level is increased now, so it is suggested whatever the level is, we need to we need to we need to adapt as per the needs, of the child. Okay, so it is suggested to take a small content from the textbook, because when you see the textbook you will have a lot of what to say content. So you need to just take a small content, simplify the content, and based on that particular theme, child can be explained orally to the students. Child can explain orally to the students and teacher as well, because it's not only the teacher is explaining, even the child can explain to their peers and the teacher or the parents. So rather, if the child is not able to have a difficulty in writing, so orally can be explained. So highlight all the new words on display with a large color print, depending on the learning style of the student, and present a drill and practice by using VAKT approach. Already I have explained you the VAKT approach. You can see the above link so that you can understand the steps of VAKT. Teach only two things at a time. You cannot take a huge sentence or the word at a time and teach. You have to chunk those two particular things which you want to teach. Pick out the concept from the lesson which you have to you're teaching, and provide the activities, projects, demonstrate to them. Give experimentation. Okay, then in social science incorporate the combined form, like you have to link history, geography, political science, because social science is a huge, broad subject. So you need to link it, you need to relate it to the real life experiences, what's happening. This is how you can do adaptation. And even if you want to teach a map concept, even if you want to teach a geographical area, you can just modify it. You can just cut. If you want to teach about the map, you can cut each the states, and then you can ask the child to do or match it or fix it up, or like a puzzle. So in that way you can understand better to make the adaptation. Sequence event in simple, using picture, showing a map for identification, as I said. Simplify the content. Okay. Then in mathematics, the curriculum of upper primary consists of algebras. You have a average, you have a simple equation. So as the um, level is higher, what you have to do, it depends upon the learner's need. You need to explore the child in real life experiment. So whatever you are making adaptation, as I said, I repeatedly, you need to check the child's need, ability. Then only you can go and do the modification as per requirement. Okay. Now let us understand a subject, science. See, here you're going to do a adaptation in, as you know, the science includes about food, about plant, about animal, solar system, electricity. So how you're going to do those adaptations? So you can use simple experiments. You can relate to the real life experience. You can create the videos, because that's the best way at the higher level to do the modification. Let us discuss some strategies to teach the above subjects. Okay. And even it is helpful for secondary level subjects, whether it is mathematics or social science or any. It's almost similar to upper primary. So here you can give a real life experience. If you want to explain the concept, you can use a flashcard or ICT, with the limited information, because you should not include a whole bunch whatever there in ICT. As I said, it should be customized. Abstract concept or a keyword can be displayed on the chart paper, which is very important to explain the concept keywords. Projects and assignment will promote the active participation of the students. So give some assignments which has some limited things to do in that. Evaluate the child's progress through simple feedback like yes, no question or multiple choice. Use graphs, models, calculator, pictures, diagrams. Then exercises on comprehensive passages you can give. Use a VAKT approach, which I already explained, given the things in the link. Use a playway and activity method, and need to modify subjects according to the need of the student. So that is what you need to understand. Need to modify subject according to the need of the student, which is very, very important in this video. Okay. So hope you have understood. If you have any doubt, just let me know. I will try to clarify it. So till then, bye bye.